Yesterday, I had a crazy realization while I was meditating. I realized that other people's unconsciousness and annoying qualities are actually there just to reflect my own lack of unconditional love. And the reason why other people exist at all is actually to help me realize even more deeper who I actually am, and to help to kind of smooth out the rough parts of my personality, my own attachments, my lack of unconditional love. So this is something that I think every single person on earth is struggling with right now. It's this feeling of like other people in your life are pissing you off. Maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your relationship partner, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your kids, your teachers, whoever it is. We always have so many criticisms for others, and we know exactly what's wrong with other people and the way they are, their habits, the way they talk, the way they dress. We're so quick to pick out everything that's wrong with other people, and we have a tough time reflecting it back on ourselves. Like when you're driving in traffic, for example, and someone cuts you off, you cuss out that person using every word in the dictionary, and you make a whole fuss about it. But then maybe 2 hours later, you're driving and then you cut someone off, and what do? You say, "Oh, sorry." And you keep driving. So you have this tendency to like make exceptions for yourself and like need everyone else to change other than yourself. So as I was meditating, I realized that we can actually use our relationships with other people as a very powerful vehicle for becoming more unconditionally loving and kind human beings. And ultimately, we can actually use our relationships with other people to contribute to our awakening and our deeper realization of our true nature, the true nature of awareness, which is unconditional love. So what I'm saying is that your mind, the nature of your mind, is like this screen of awareness. Imagine like you're going to a movie theater. The screen itself is like your awareness. Now, this is just an analogy. It's not literal. It's just like, so you kind of get the gist. The screen has no particular bias, has no judgment about what kind of movie is projected onto it. It could be a horror movie where there's demons possessing people. It could be a comedy. It could be a beautiful Disney movie or a Pixar movie or whatever it is, an action movie. Any movie with any potential experience could be projected on that screen, and the screen would have no bias. The screen doesn't care what's projected onto it. It just unconditionally loves and accepts whatever light is projected onto it. Even if someone is murdering someone else on the screen, the screen doesn't care. It just is like creating the space that allows for things to exist within it. So one of the deepest problems that you struggle with in your life is the problem of being extremely judgmental of yourself and not accepting reality, including other people, not being able to accept it as it is, always needing to change it or manipulate it or fight against it. You're always fighting against others, needing them to change, shoving your ideas down their throat. Like, the way I realized this recently is I've been really into this diet called the medical medium diet, which is the most powerful diet on planet Earth by far. It's just mostly fruits and vegetables. I made another video about it, and I was sending it to my friend who's really into bodybuilding, and he is really interested in all sorts of diet things. So I was sending him this information like, hey, you got to check this out. It's amazing. It's profound. You got to look at it. And he for some reason wasn't really interested. He didn't want to check out. He didn't believe me, or he didn't like the source. So instead of just accepting that, I tried to like convince him, and I kept sending him this podcast, and I sent it like too many times. Like even after he's like, yo, like I really don't care, I just kept sending it, just kind of like just to bug him a little bit. Like, hey dude, this is like the best diet advice on earth. Check it out. But he didn't want to. And I didn't realize that it's okay that he doesn't want to. I thought there was like something wrong with him, or he was closed-minded, or yeah. So this ended up with me getting into a bit of a fight with a friend of mine. And it wasn't a huge fight. It was just kind of like very passive-aggressive exchange that we had. And as I was meditating later that day, I actually had a giant realization. The realization was that literally the reason why other people exist is to help to smoothen out my own attachments and clingings and neediness, to need reality to be a selfish way, a specific way that validates my own selfish agendas and wants and desires. I had this realization. It's almost like all of existence is sort of like a simulation. Now this is again another analogy, but all of existence is almost like a simulation where your relationships with other people are actually there to help to teach you specific lessons about what it means to be unconditionally loving. Like that screen in the movie, to be unconditionally accepting of others, including their limitations and their unconsciousness and their hypocrisy and their hatred and their closed-mindedness, if I already said that. Learning to unconditionally love and accept all beings exactly as they are without needing to change them, just really meeting them with love and compassion exactly where they're at. This is important to do with others, and it starts first and foremost with yourself. So when you're practicing meditation, the goal is to unconditionally love and accept all states of mind that arise. All thoughts and cravings, and thinking about video games, thinking about the argument you're going to have with the person at work, thinking about sex, all of this. Meeting yourself there and not judging it, not hating it or trying to manipulate it or change it, but just unconditionally loving all states as they arise and being with them fully, without ignoring them or unvalidating them, if that's a word. So other people are a great way to do this practice, and I'm not saying to like never try to help people ever. Of course, I make videos like this in an attempt to help people. So that's not what I'm saying. Some people, of course, you can help them change if they ask you, but don't force change down their throats. You gotta kind of like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You just kind of gotta show up and love them exactly as they are, even if they're not ready to change. This will make all of your relationships in your life a lot more enjoyable a lot more fruitful. I think you can heal a lot of fights you have with your parents or with your loved ones, with your friends. Just letting them be as they are and realizing that if you get triggered by the way someone else is, that's not their fault. That's actually you. You can actually thank them. Say, thank you for triggering me and showing me a place of unconscious attachment that I had that now I can be aware of and soften it. So being thankful for the difficult relationships that you have in your life and realizing that they're actually helping to smooth you out, helping to learn certain lessons about who you really are that your soul wanted to learn before coming to earth. Yeah, so a good practical thing is you can just, whenever you notice someone else triggering you, or you notice you're trying to stick your hands in there and change someone else's life, give them advice, you need to turn the attention, instead of focusing it outwards, turn it back inwards and think, where am I limited? Where am I clinging? Can I accept this? A great question. What if I just let it be? What if I actually appreciated this thing exactly as it is? You'll find that your personal development and also just your happiness, your enjoyment in your life, you'll be able to fully appreciate the beautiful design of all of existence, and you'll start to treat life as more of a game where it doesn't need to be so serious all the time. But when someone in your house is having an argument or when your friends are pissing you off, you can approach the situation with more humor and less seriousness. You can kind of have a good laugh about it, like, wow, this is like maximum annoying, like this is like, oh my goodness. And you can almost start to laugh about it, like, wow, this is like a deep level of like triggering me, like, and it's like, this is like perfectly triggering, like in exact, all of my hot buttons just like all pushed. like in the elevator when you go to push all the buttons, like every single floor is pushed. So you can actually have a laugh about it and realize, kind of remember that this life is almost, it's a fleeting phenomenon. I don't want to call it a simulation, that's just an analogy, but I think a dream is a better word, or like a mirage, like an illusion. Like, it doesn't need to be taken so seriously and need to be clinged onto and held onto so tightly. You can kind of loosen it up a little bit and remember that, what if you can actually think to yourself, like, if when someone's bothering you, like, what if this was a video game and their job was literally to bother me and my job was to love them exactly as they are. Exactly as they are. This will be so helpful for you, not only in your friendships, but even in your intimate relationships as well. Loving your partner exactly as they are. You might say, well, Adam, if I love them exactly as they are, they'll never quit their bad habits or they'll just keep annoying me forever. Now, I'm not saying that you never set boundaries, right? You can still have some healthy boundaries. Like if someone's coming and poking you in the eyes, you can say, hey, stop, block your eyes, right? You set a boundary, right? Please don't do that, right? But watch and see that when you fully, totally, completely accept every single ounce, every molecule of that being exactly as it is, not needing one single molecule to change or be different, Notice how the energy in the relationship shifts, and they will treat you differently. They'll have a different reaction to you. They won't be defensive. Even if you desire one single molecule for them to change, immediately they'll subconsciously become defensive. Even if you don't say it, even if you're not telling them to change, but you're just thinking it in your mind, that's felt. Okay? That's felt. When someone wants you to change or is judging you subconsciously, you get indignant and you're like, oh, I have a right to be the way I am. Damn right, I had, like if let's say you're angry and someone's judging you for being angry, you get even more angry because you feel like you have a right to exist. You have a right to be the way you are. The same is true for all beings. So when you acknowledge that right and you accept it fully without needing to change, notice that actually people will change in their own time the way they're meant to. The same is true for your life and for everything. All right. Hope this video was helpful for you. Subscribe for more videos like this. You can come chat with me in our free community where we do weekly calls and we talk about meditation. We meditate together. That's the action step for this whole video. Meditation, that's the thing that allows you to become unconditionally loving and accepting. So if you want some help with that and you want to be part of a community for free, come join at the link in the description. Otherwise, I hope this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next one.